Hello YouTube, Elmonster here, and I have for you guys today another really good, really close post-narrated Showdown replay. And of course, if you guys do enjoy the video, then make sure to hit the like button down below. And to answer the question of the day, which is, in your opinion, what is probably the most underrated Pokemon in NU right now? In my opinion, I would have to go with Executor. I really like Executor. I definitely think that more people should be using it, and it does hit extremely hard. So look at a team preview. This is an NU battle, of course, and honestly, when I saw my opponent's team, there wasn't really anything I was going to be too concerned about. I mean, Typhlosion could be a bit of an issue with the proper prediction if he does get rid of my Hariyama, because outside of Hariyama, I really have no safe switch into it. Cacturne never really poses a threat to me whenever I face it. Kabutops could be a major problem actually if I allow it to get up a Swords Dance, but my team should be able to keep up offensive pressure on it to prevent that, so I had a way of keeping Kabutops in check. Lantern could be a problem just because it is very bulky and it does outspeed my whole team. Mismagius shouldn't be an issue because normally I can take it on with my Prebopass and I can revenge kill with either my Feraligatr or my Glalie if need be. So yeah, the only real problems I saw going into this match were going to be his Typhlosion or his Kabutops if it set up a Swords Dance. So I ended up leading off with my Prebopass thinking, okay, he's probably going to lead off with his Zatoot. No, he ends up leading off right with the Typhlosion. And then I'm thinking, I have a Hariyama, I have a Zatoot. He's not going to go for the Fire move, and he's not going to go for the Focus Blast, right? So he goes Focus Blast, and my Prebopass is basically rendered useless now. I was very close to actually going for the Stealth Rocks, but I didn't want to risk him possibly bringing in the Zatoot. As I bring in my own Zatoot from the Volt Switch, I'm going to be able to U-turn into my Feraligatr, then predicting him to switch into the Cacturne. I'm going to go ahead and go straight for the return, which should be an easy 2 KO. However, though, he gets a crit on my Feraligatr and straight up OHKOs me. And that was actually very crucial, because you're going to see that this Cacturne plays a very big role near the end of this match. But now I do get a free switch into my Glalie, which even if this Cacturne is Jolly Max Speed, he is not still faster than Jolly Max Speed Glalie. But I'm going to predict him to switch into the Kabutops or the Lantern, and I'm going to go for the Earthquake as he makes a nice play, predicts that, and brings in the Mismagius. And I'm thinking, okay, Mismagius, don't carry Will-O-Wisp. It can't do too much damage to me with the Shadow Ball or a Dazzling Gleam. No, he has Mystical Fire. Okay, I was not at all expecting Mystical. I didn't even know this thing could learn Mystical Fire, but after talking to like Richard and Queen of Love Disc and fingers crossed, very avid NU players, apparently Mystical Fire Mismagius isn't that odd, and I can kind of see why it would be used. I guess it is good for like Mega Steelix, which is running around a lot. But yeah, I was not at all expecting this, and I stayed in because I knew I could take any hit that he wanted to go for that, and I didn't want anything else on my team to take any unnecessary damage, and I wanted to save Prebopass for Death Fodder later in this match. Thankfully though, I am able to live, and I'm going to be able to OHKO him with the return. Luckily I didn't have double edge there because I might have been knocked out by the recoil damage. As he brings in the Typhlosion, I'm going to be forced to switch out, and I'm just going to fodder off my Prebopass here. As it turns out, he has Lava Plume. Now Lava Plume, in my opinion, isn't actually that bad of a move to carry on Typhlosion. I mean, it's not that weaker than Flamethrower, plus it still hits really hard. As he brings in Zatoot, I'm going to pay him back for that crit on my Feraligatr, and I'm going to get a crit on his incoming Zatoot. As he brings in the Lantern, I was really fearing that he would go for the Volt Switch. Luckily, he kind of makes a bit of a bad play and it goes for the Scald. Then again, I can kind of see why he would do that. I mean, if he did get the burn on my Hariyama, it would make it practically useless to me, so I guess that probably was a smarter play in his opinion, but I think the better play would have been to go for the Volt Switch, considering that my switch out was very obvious. Then again, if you look at his team, nothing takes a close combat, so again, that's another reason why he would go for Scald. So I guess Scald might have been the better play, but I don't know. I would have Volt Switched if I was him, fearing that I would be fearing a burn from Scald, but just, yeah, in the end, he went for Scald, which works excellent for me because now I'm going to be able to basically go for a stabbed Life Orbed Leaf Storm. And as he brings in the Typhlosion, this does over 50%, which I was really surprised about. On the downside though, I do put him in the Blaze range, but it's fine though because I do have Typhlosion counter. in the form of my Hariyama, and this is where him having Lava Plume over Flamethrower really helps him out, as he's able to burn my Hariyama. However though, I'm still going to be able to finish him off with a knockoff, which is really great for me because that's one giant fast threat out of the way. Then again, at the amount of HP that Typhlosion was at, I'm pretty positive that an Ice Shard would have been able to finish him off. As he brings in the Lantern, he is going to predict me to want to bring in my Executor, but at this point I really have no more use for my Hariyama, so I'm just going to leave it in, just trying to get off as much damage as I can on this Lantern, as he knocks me out with the crit from Thunderbolt. The crit does not matter, doesn't play a role whatsoever, because after the bit of chip damage from the close combat, I ensure that Leaf Storm will be able to OHKO this Lantern. Actually, I think max special defense, max HP can still get OHKO'd from Life Orb, Timid, Executor. Anyways, here's Cacturn. Okay, Cacturn is a giant threat in this situation, and this thing should have been gone a long time ago, but he crit me with the Sucker Punch. Now this is probably one of two crucial turns in this match. So obviously the only dark stab that most Cacturns carry is Sucker Punch. So at this point in the match, I'm not fearing him having a Dark Pulse, because normally they carry one or the other, they don't carry both. So because he has Sucker Punch, I don't have to worry about Dark Pulse. So I'm thinking, okay, he can either go for a Sucker Punch this turn, or he can go for a C-Bomb. Either way though, I need to save this Executor, because at this point Executor is the only thing on my team that can take a hit from Kabutops. So if he does want to go for Sucker Punch thinking I'll stay in and over predict, I lose the match. I can also switch into my Xatu, although he could set up a possible Swords Dance and then I'd be in a pretty bad situation from there. But then again, if I do lose Xatu, I could then get a free switch into Glalie to finish off this Cacturn with Ice Shard. So either way though, I was not going to stay in this turn, and I was really fearing that he would go for a Seed Bomb, predicting me to switch out. Then again, I could have also switched into Xatu, so there was a chance he might have actually not thought of going for Seed Bomb. But either way though, I make a rather ballsy play, and I switch into my Glalie. Thankfully he does Sucker Punch. Now here is the second most crucial turn. Keep in mind, these situations should have not come up if this damn Cacturn just did not crit my Feraligatr. So now I can either go for the Ice Shard, I'll prioritize Cacturn and knock it out with Ice Shard, or he can switch into Kabutops on my predicted Ice Shard and then basically get a free kill with something on my team from Rock Slide. And at this point, because he still has Cacturn, I need to save my Glalie, because the only thing on my team that can out prioritize it and finish it off. So what I could have done here was actually doubled out into Xatu if I wanted to, but then I probably would have been in a bit of a bad situation there, because he probably could have just got a blatant free switch into his Kabutops, allowing him to save Cacturn, and then, I don't know, things might have gone downhill from there. I'm not too sure, but I decided to play riskily and kind of on the safe side, and I decided to just go straight for the Ice Shard, and I'm going to be able to knock out this Cacturn in return, basically sealing me the victory, because there, if I would have lost Glalie, he would have been able to win the game with his Executor, and now the fact that I got rid of Glalie, I still have my Xatu and my Executor. All I have to do is hope to live a hit, which even then I think Executor can still live one unboosted hit from Kabutops, as it turns out he has Rock Slide, which means a Stone Edge would have actually been able to finish me off, but I guess it's not that big of an issue in the end, because Xatu is going to come in handy and allow me to now get a pretty free switch into my Executor and win the match there. I don't know. I think Stone Edge might have been able to knock out Executor. I don't think so though, because Executor is really bulky. And just, I don't know, those two plays and those two turns with Cacturn were very crucial, because if I did make the wrong play in that certain situation, I probably would have ended up losing this match. Luckily though, in the end, I was able to make the two correct plays and still managed to pull out the victory. So hopefully you guys did enjoy, and if you did, then you know what to do. And with that being said, guys, I will see you all tomorrow. So later, everybody.